today, and we're going to be taking you around the World Showcase, showing you all of the hidden details in each pavilion. Let's go! So we are starting in Mexico. We're feeling like college tour guides walking backwards, but this is our favorite pavilion to start in always.
So the first detail I want to show you guys in Mexico is this window right here. This is where illuminations used to be run.
So from across the lagoon, you can actually see Tower of Terror. They disguised it to blend in with Morocco so that it wouldn't be out of place. So something you'll notice about the Mexico Pavilion is that it's heavily in this building. There isn't really much outside. That's because nighttime markets are popular places in Mexico for friends and family to gather, so they wanted to give this that unique feel.
We are in line for the Grand Fiesta Tour, where there's some pretty cool hidden Mickeys. So one of the hidden Mickeys you can see on this ride is up in these clouds right here. They form a very abstract hidden Mickey that you can only see from a certain angle. Yeah, there you go. All right, so right here in this boat, you can see another hidden Mickey with the vases. Here's another hidden Mickey. Actually, it's a Donald. It's a Donald Pinata. Another hidden Mickey, and I also want to spot these drums on this boat. All right, so the next one you're gonna find is on the mural in the window. You can see a Mickey silhouette. So those were the hidden details in the Mexico Pavilion. On to
Norway.
So we are here in Norway. Let's find some hidden details. Outside of the meet and greet, you can see that there's a maelstrom boat that's chiseled into the rock as a little tribute to the ride.
Since this is an Anna and Elsa meet and greet, there are a lot of not so hidden details of Anna and Elsa throughout this whole queue.
So you can find this tapestry. At the bottom there's a troll, and at the top there's 3 trolls. This is a tribute to the old ride Maelstrom, and you can find it right by this exit door. So outside of the Anna and Elsa meet and greet, you can see these rune stones with inscriptions on these. These were from Maelstrom and are a tribute to that ride. So the grass roof on the Kringla Bakery is actually a tribute or a representation of the grass roofs that used to be in Norway in the 4th century. This statue right here is the marathon runner Greet Waits, which I'm definitely pronouncing wrong, but she won more New York City marathons than any other female runner.
So the Akershus Royal Banquet Hall is based on a real Norwegian fortress, and inside there are a lot more details that actually show this history.
Another little tribute to Maelstrom, which I can't find, is supposedly somewhere behind me that there's a sword, like a Viking sword up there in the cave. I don't see it though. Thanks to the efforts of Papa Mouselet and a cast member, we found the sword. Guys, I gotta tell you, it's pretty hard to see, but it's right there. So you're gonna come here, you're gonna see it in the waterfall. I will zoom in. I genuinely don't think you can see a thing. You can kind of see the rusty stem of the sword right there.
And then we're not gonna wait 90 minutes for the Frozen ride, but there's another tribute to Maelstrom.
80 minutes, but
there's another tribute to Maelstrom in there. There's a sign that's talking about the weather in Arendelle, and it refers to a maelstrom coming, which is a type of storm.
I had amazing luck this trip, getting row 1 on like a bunch of rides, and we just got it. Time to say goodbye to Norway and
Head to China.
we are in China, and here to tell you some of the fun facts here.
So in the front of the pavilion, a little bit hidden behind this booth, there are these interesting rocks. These represent an ancient Chinese symbol where strange rocks bring peace and tranquility.
On the top of this building, you can see a figure of a prince sitting on top of a chicken. Now this is something that was common in the Forbidden City, and his name is Prince Min. Basically, there's folklore that he was killed by his people. So I was gonna tell you guys that if you stand in the middle, this is acoustically perfect. But there's 2 people sitting in the middle already, and I think they've figured it out. But yeah, if you stand in the middle here. Hello? I don't know. Apparently it is. This main street is called the Street of Good Fortune. Supposedly, Imagineers designed this street to represent the very crowded conditions that are in China today. I've never heard that confirmed, but that's what people say. And at the end of the Street of Good Fortune, you can see this Bianzong bell, which I hope I did not mispronounce. This instrument was played in rituals and traditions for 2,000 to 3,500 years. So we just left China and we are headed to
Germany.
So actually there's not that many hidden details that I personally know about Germany. One of my favorites is what this pavilion was supposed to be. So from this area, it looks like there's a lot in this pavilion. It's pretty busy, but take a look at this castle wall at the top. This was supposed to be an attraction similar to the Frozen ride in Norway, but it was a boat ride called the Rhine River Cruise. And the entrance would have been this arch right here. There's actually a little detail that you can see that there was going to be a ride here. And honestly, every time I do this, people think I'm crazy, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So when you walk through this arch, there's a mural. Go up to the mural and knock on it, which I'm about to do, and people are gonna think I'm nuts. So it's hollow. The reason is because behind there was like one of the small parts of the building that the ride was supposed to be in. So that side is the restaurant, but this mural was supposed to be the entrance, and honestly, I feel like you can tell that it was going to be. Sadly, the attraction was never built. At this clock, when it's 15 or 30 minutes or an hour, something cool will happen, so watch for that. In the center of the far left Knight's Crown, you can find a hidden Mickey. I scrolled the wrong way. There it is. One more fact about the Germany Pavilion is about these miniature trains and this space located right there.
This can actually fit an entire another pavilion, that whole area where the trains are. It doesn't look big enough, but it is.
So now we are leaving Germany and we are headed to
Italy. So this area right here is modeled to look after the plaza in Venice, and we have actually been there and it looks identical. It is actually crazy how similar they were able to make it. So another detail is you notice there's a lot of buildings on this side and there's nothing over there. There were actually plans to put an attraction or building there and they never did it. So these used to be found in Venice, and people could put slips of paper into his mouth with notes about wrongdoings of their neighbors and their friends. So on the pillars in Italy, one of these kings is holding a bowling ball because one of the Imagineers liked bowling.
So we just left Italy and we are in
The American Adventure Pavilion.
So the first is how this building looks. So you might think that there is 1 story, 2 stories, 3 stories, but that's actually not the case. So the building was designed to look 3 stories, but actually it's 5 stories. This is a super common trick that Disney uses.
And when it comes to scale, wait until Canada and you'll see the opposite, which is pretty cool.
Another
You
fun
like
fact.
Jazz?
You like jazz? Another fun fact about this pavilion is on the 2nd floor.
I have no idea what she's talking about.
Club 33.
As you enter into the show, you can see over 40 flags hanging, which include many variations of the United States flag, as well as other flags from colonial times. There is one flag in this room that was never actually used. Flag makers incorrectly assumed that Dakota would count as one singular state, and that was later revised, so that flag never went into production. So the reason that this building is so large is due to this theater and show. This slanted angle that you can see on the seats is made specifically so that they can house the many, many sets and audio animatronics beneath the seats. And these statues on either side of the theater are meant to represent the various spirits of America.
So it's starting to get dark and we are in America, which is the perfect stopping point.
Since we've done half of the World Showcase today, we'll do the other half another day to show you the rest.
Tune in then.